She slammed the door shut so hard the frame shook. Her breath caught halfway between a gasp and a cry as she pressed her back against it. On the other side, footsteps stopped. Silence. Amina froze. Then came his voice, low and controlled. "Open this door." Her fingers trembled around the doorknob, but she didn't move. Her heart was hitting her ribs like it wanted out more than she did. "I said open it," he repeated. Slower this time. Amina shut her eyes. "Please, just give me space," she whispered, even though she knew he couldn't hear her through the door anymore. The handle jiggled once, then stopped. Footsteps moved away. That was when she finally exhaled. Not relief, not peace. Fear, because that meant he was thinking. And when he thought, things always got worse. 2 days earlier, everything still looked normal from the outside. Amina stood in the kitchen, stirring a pot of rice that she wasn't even sure she would eat. The house was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that didn't feel like peace, but like waiting. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She didn't need to look to know who it was. "Where are you?" her husband's message read. She stared at it for a moment before typing. "Cooking." 3 dots appeared immediately. "You didn't ask before changing your routine." Amina swallowed hard. "It's just food." "No, it's not just food. It's you thinking you can do whatever you want." Her hand tightened around the phone. From behind her, his voice came suddenly. "So now you reply slowly?" She turned sharply. He was standing there. He always did. That appearing like a shadow you didn't hear until it was too late. "I didn't hear you come in," she said, softly. "That's the problem," he replied. "You don't notice things anymore." Amina forced a small smile. "I'm just tired." He stepped closer, not touching her. Not yet. That was his pattern. Proximity first. Control first. "You've been tired for weeks," he said. "What exactly is making you tired, Amina?" The way he said her name wasn't soft. It was like he was holding it hostage. She looked away. "Nothing." That was the wrong answer. His jaw tightened slightly. "Nothing?" Amina quickly corrected herself. "Housework. Stress. Just normal things." A pause. Then he nodded slowly, as if accepting it. "For now." "Good," he said, "because there shouldn't be anything outside this house that makes you tired." Her stomach dropped. "Outside this house." That sentence stayed with her longer than he did when he eventually walked away. That night, Amina sat on the bathroom floor, with the water running just loud enough to hide her breathing. Her phone was in her lap. A hidden note app was open. She typed slowly. "I think I'm disappearing while still alive." She stared at the words, then deleted them. Her hands shook. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered to herself. A knock hit the bathroom door. "Amina." She flinched so hard the phone slipped from her hands. "I'm fine," she called quickly. Silence. Then, his voice again. "You've been in there for 10 minutes." I said I'm fine. Another pause. "Open the door." Her breath tightened. She unlocked it. The door opened slowly. He didn't step in fully, just looked at her sitting on the floor. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Nothing. I was just washing my face." His eyes scanned the room like he was looking for lies instead of answers. Then he nodded once. "Don't stay in here too long," he said. "You start thinking too much when you're alone." And then he left. Amina sat there long after his footsteps faded, thinking too much. That was the problem. According to him, but thinking was the only thing keeping her from disappearing completely. The next morning, she made a decision. It didn't come as a dramatic moment. And no lightning. No sudden courage. Just exhaustion. She opened her phone and typed a contact she had memorized but never dared to use. "Are you still in Lagos?" Her finger hovered. Then she sent it. Her chest tightened immediately after. 3 minutes passed. Then a reply came. "Yes." "Why?" Amina looked around the room before typing again. "I need help. I need to leave, but I only have time." A pause. Then, "How much time?" Her fingers slowed. She typed, 48 hours. That was the moment everything changed, because Now it wasn't just a thought in her head. It was real. A plan. A beginning. And beginnings like that always had consequences. She started small. She hid cash inside a sanitary pad packet. She deleted messages. Immediately after reading them, she practiced acting normal in the mirror, smiling without shaking. But her husband noticed everything. He always did. That evening, he stood behind her while she packed laundry. "You're humming," he said. Amina paused. "Is that a problem?" He stepped closer. "You don't hum." Her stomach tightened. "I just heard a song earlier." "What song?" She hesitated. That hesitation was enough. His eyes narrowed slightly. "You're changing," he said. "I'm not." "You are," he corrected. "And I don't like it." Amina forced herself to laugh lightly. "It's just stress. I told you." But he wasn't listening anymore. He was studying her like she was a problem he needed to solve. That night, she received another message. "First step ready. Tomorrow night. Be at the junction behind the old pharmacy." Her heart raced so hard she thought it might wake the house. Tomorrow night. Less than 24 hours left. She whispered under her breath, "I can actually do this." For the first time in weeks, she felt something close to hope. Not happiness. Not safety. But movement. Then the bedroom door opened. She snapped her phone off instantly. He stood there again, watching. "What are you doing?" he asked. Amina forced calm into her voice. "Just checking time." He walked in, slowly, too slowly. His eyes dropped to her hands, then to the bed, then back to her face. "You're sweating," he said. "I'm not." He stepped closer. "Sit down," he said. Her body obeyed before her mind could argue. He sat beside her. Silence. Stretched. Then he spoke quietly. "Do you love me, Amina?" The question didn't feel like love. It felt like inspection. "Yes," she answered quickly. Too quickly again. His gaze didn't soften. "Good," he said. "Because love doesn't leave." Amina's throat tightened. He stood up. Before leaving, he added, "Sleep early. I'll be watching." The door closed, and Amina finally understood something she had been avoiding for years. She wasn't just trapped in a marriage. She was being watched inside it. And now she only had 48 hours to escape it. Amina didn't sleep that night. She lay on her side staring at the ceiling, counting her breaths instead of sheep, as if breath itself could anchor her to reality. Every small sound in the house felt louder than it should have been: the ticking clock, the occasional creak of the walls, even the distant hum of the refrigerator downstairs. At one point, she reached for her phone under the pillow. One message. "Tomorrow night. Don't fail." She read it 5 times, then she whispered, barely audible, "I won't." But even as she said it, doubt crawled into her chest like something alive, because nothing in her life had ever gone smoothly when it mattered. And she knew it. Morning came too fast. Her husband was already awake when she entered the kitchen. That alone made her stomach tighten. He never used to be up this early. He was sitting at the table, scrolling on his phone, one elbow resting casually like nothing was wrong with the world. But Amina knew better now. "Good morning," she said, carefully. He didn't look up immediately. "Morning," he replied after a delay. Then silence again. Amina moved toward the stove, pretending to focus on making tea. Her hands shook slightly. She prayed he wouldn't notice. But of course, he did. "You didn't sleep," he said suddenly. Her hand paused mid-motion. "I did." She lied. He finally looked at her. "That's interesting," he said. "Because I watched you all night." The spoon slipped slightly in her hand. She forced a laugh that didn't sound like her own. "You were awake too?" He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he stood up and walked closer. Too close again. "You've been acting strange," he said quietly. Amina swallowed. "I told you. I'm just stressed." He tilted his head slightly. "No," he corrected. "It's more than that." A long pause. Then he said something that made her blood go cold. "Where are you going tonight?" Amina froze. The world didn't move for a second. Her throat tightened. "What?" He studied her face carefully. "You heard me." Her heart started pounding so hard she thought it might betray her. "I'm not going anywhere," she said quickly. He smiled faintly, but it wasn't warmth. It was certainty. "We'll see," he said. "By afternoon." Amina knew she had been found out, not confirmed, not confronted, but felt. The way he moved around the house was different now, slower, intentional, like he was waiting for something to happen, or preventing it. Every time she reached for her phone, she felt his eyes. Every time she stepped near the door, he appeared in the same direction. It was no longer subtle. It was containment. That was the word that came to her mind. Containment. Not love. Not marriage. Containment. At 6:12 p.m. She sent one final message. "I might not make it." The reply came instantly. "Don't say that. Meet me at 8. You still have time." Amina stared at the screen. 2 hours, only 2 hours, left between her and something that might be freedom, or something worse. She deleted the chat immediately, then hid the phone inside her shoe. At 7:30 p.m. her husband knocked on the bedroom door. "Amina, come out." She didn't answer. Another knock, stronger this time. "Amina." She stood slowly, walked to the door, opened it. He was standing there holding keys. "We're going out," he said. Her stomach dropped instantly. "What?" He nodded once. "Now. I can't," she said quickly. "I'm not feeling well." He stepped closer. "You'll feel better outside." There was no discussion in his tone, only instruction. Amina felt something inside her break, slightly, because this wasn't random. This was timing, perfect timing. He was removing her from the house right when she needed to leave. The car ride was silent, too silent. The city passed by outside the window like a blur of lights and lives she wasn't part of. Amina sat stiffly, her hands clenched in her lap. Every second felt stolen. She checked the clock on the dashboard. 7:52 p.m. Her escape time was slipping away in real time. She turned slightly. "Where are we going?" she asked carefully. He didn't look at her. "You'll see," he replied. That answer alone was enough to make her chest tighten. At 8:07 p.m. they parked. A quiet place, not far from the city, but far enough to feel isolated. Amina's breathing became shallow. This wasn't part of her plan. None of this was. He turned off the engine, then looked at her. "You wanted freedom, didn't you?" he asked calmly. Amina's entire body went still. "What are you talking about?" she whispered. He smiled again, but this time it was worse than before, because it wasn't uncertainty. It was confirmation. "I saw the messages," he said. Her heart stopped for a second. "No." She shook her head quickly. "That's not." He raised his hand. She flinched, but he didn't hit her. He just pointed at the phone in her shoe. "I know everything," he said quietly. Silence swallowed the car. Amina felt her world collapse inward. "You've been planning to leave me," he continued. "For how long?" Her voice cracked. "Please, let me go." That was the first time she said it directly. "Let me go." He tilted his head slightly, as if considering it. Then he said something that made her blood run cold. "I already decided what happens when people leave me." Amina reached for the door handle. Locked. Of course it was locked. Her breathing turned rapid. "Please," she said again, louder now. "I just want to leave." He looked at her for a long moment, then reached into the glove compartment, pulled out her phone. She hadn't even realized he had taken it earlier. He held it up, then pressed play. Her voice filled the car. "I need help. I need to leave." Amina broke. Tears came fast, uncontrollable. "You went through my phone," she cried. He nodded. "Of course." Then he added softly, You were never going anywhere. What happened next was never fully explained in detail. Afterward, neighbors said they heard nothing. No argument. No scream. Just silence. When police eventually arrived hours later, they found the car still parked, door open, phone on the seat. But Amina was gone. Not inside. Not nearby. Just gone. The only thing left was a torn piece of paper in her pocket that had fallen out during the search. It read, 48 hours was all I needed. 2 days later, her story was everywhere. Some said she ran away. Some said it was planned. Some said it was something darker. But no one knew the truth. And the husband? He only said one sentence when questioned. She never left me. And if you are watching this right now, pause for a second. Because sometimes the people closest to us are the ones we see the least clearly. If this story made you feel something, subscribe to Vaulted Stories, like this video, and comment what you think really happened to Amina. Did she try to escape? Or was she never meant to leave at all?